They're releasing the Epstein files. Important: Ghislaine Maxwell, a newly released DOJ interview transcript, says she does not believe that Epstein committed suicide. I do not believe he died by suicide, no. Wow. So they released the entire transcript. Here's the problem with what I think this is. The newly released transcript shows Ghislaine Maxwell testifying that President Trump never acted inappropriately with anyone or received any, quote, massages. Todd Blanche, did you ever observe President Trump receive a massage? Let me see here. Did you ever receive it? And she says, no, she never saw it. And did you ever hear Mr. Epstein or anybody say anything that President Trump had done anything inappropriate with masseuses or with anybody in your world? Absolutely never, in any context. Wow. Damn. The DOJ released all transcripts and audio from Deputy AG Todd Blanche's interview with Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell. Holy shit, man. That's actually really big. I don't even know what to say. Yeah, wow. Pardon, here we come. Well, here's the problem, right? Is that Trump has violated the trust, and I think that I think the way that he's acted has made people distrustful of him, and because of that, anything that he says and anything that people do, like, she could be telling the truth or she could be lying. Do you see what I'm saying? Nobody knows whether she's telling the truth or not. And I think that if he hadn't been so suspicious about how he handled the Epstein stuff, and they hadn't done such a bad job handling it at the beginning, you wouldn't be seeing this amount of skepticism. But because of that, I think that now you are seeing the skepticism, and there's a lot of people that just don't believe anything that they're saying, especially for a pardon, but I would believe it. Yeah, I don't know, man. Trump was always innocent. We always knew. I love this. As we knew, I know my president. I don't think that anybody... You should not trust a serial sex trafficker, pedophile, to be telling the truth. Now, you shouldn't also assume that she's lying. But you shouldn't... Like, this is a thing where you trust but verify. Obviously, you cannot be sure that this is happening. But at the same time, you can have a general idea, right? She said never saw, does not clear him. Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, maybe she was not involved or she didn't see it happen, but it happened anyway. I mean, there's a lot of ways that this could go down that would not necessarily really exclude that reality. So yeah, put her on a lie detector test. You realize that stuff doesn't work, right? I mean, like, why is every single deposition not done with a lie detector test? Well, the reason why is because it's not accurate. Like, if it was accurate, everybody would be using it. Yeah, they're not reliable. It's like kind of like reading it's one step up from body language readers, where it's like, yes, sometimes this is true, but it's not true at a ratio that's high enough that you can use it as a frame of evidence or a frame of proof that somebody is or isn't doing something. So yeah, sorry guys, Canada pulled back its tariffs. Yeah, I'll look at it in a second, but let me focus on this first. And so yeah, let me see if I can find the other post about this. See if I pull it up and see if there's anything else. It's too easy to fake it. Yeah. The Trump Department of Justice released the transcripts and audio of their interview with the Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell. Imagine that transparency. Man, Trump is innocent even with all the accusations against him. Did you see in person Trump? Probably sometime. Did you ever hear Epstein said Trump had anything inappropriate? Absolutely never. There's more of it here too. In my discovery, sorry, President Trump, there was nothing from President Trump. Do you remember one way that President Trump submitted a letter for his 50th birthday? She says she doesn't remember. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a pretty unique detail. It's not really a big surprise. You're right, we shouldn't take her word for it. We should look at all the other evidence against him. Oh, wait, there is none? Well, I mean, it's undeniable that Trump has said inappropriate, weird things about women that are underage, including his own daughter. He shouldn't have said that, and it was weird for him to say that, for sure. And I think that people hear him say that, or they hear something like that, and it makes people uncomfortable, and they don't trust him. I mean, so that's it. What has he said? I mean, you can just look it up, right? I mean, there's like 4 or 5 examples that I would have in my head. Actually, three examples I have in my head. Not enough to condemn them, though. No, you're right. Making inappropriate comments is the universe of difference between doing something inappropriate with a person who's underage. Like, you know, one of them, like, everybody has intrusive thoughts. Some people verbalize them. But none of that compares to the actual behavior. So, yeah, it's such a double standard. I mean, I don't know about that. It depends. So, yeah, logical man makes no sense to have blind faith. Yeah, exactly. And you can't really know. Why were they not uncomfortable with Joe's panty sniffing? Well, he wasn't doing that, but, like, he was sniffing people. And also they were. I think everybody can acknowledge and everybody agrees. Like, guys, are we all on the same page with this, by the way? That, like, yeah, it's pretty fucking weird the way that Joe Biden acted around girls, too. Yeah, it was fucking creepy. It was creepy and weird. Like, I wouldn't want to, you know, I wouldn't want my kid around something like that at all. Yeah. Like the comments about his daughter, it's hyperbole, but it sounds weird. Yeah, it just sounds weird, and it's just problematic. I mean, really, that's all there is to it, more than anything. So, yeah, I don't even worry about that. Did you check out the Destiny stuff yet? Of course, right? People are going to bring that up. Well, I will give you my opinion on the Destiny stuff. These are crimes. Potentially, if you are having, you know, sexual interactions with somebody who's underage, especially because it's done on the internet, and so it's being done federally. And so federally, the age of consent is 18. That is something that is beyond my pay grade. I am not a FBI agent. I am not a police investigator. I am not a lawyer. I do not have any of the information that they have. I'm not going to make, you know, statements, judgments, opinions, or anything like that, or draw conclusions based off of the existing evidence. So, yeah. Nice try, Glowy. Yeah, sure, right? In Texas, it's 17, but you don't want to play with that? Yeah, the age of consent is 17 in Texas, but the difference is that when you're communicating with people that are in multiple states, the age of consent defaults to 18 because it's online communication, which transcends states' rights. Like, because that obviously, right? Yeah, 16 at sus has been. Well, I'm just telling you, like, that's the answer to the question, right? You ask what's the age of consent, that's what the age is. Most states are 16. Well, yeah, it's a local server, exactly, does it? Yeah, that's my understanding, at least. I mean, I could be wrong, but I thought that's the way it worked. Either way, this is my opinion with the Destiny stuff. You make comments and accusations like that, that's a really big deal. That's extremely serious. I'm not going to go, and I don't want to talk about it, really. I don't want to go through all the data. I don't want to figure out whether who's lying and who's not lying. That is something for the police to decide, and I don't want to have anything to do with it. So, yeah. What if a teenager in Texas communicated with another teen from a country where the age of consent's 14? I don't know. I mean, you're talking about, like, you know, like 1% of a 1% of a 1%, right? I mean, I don't know. You'd have to ask some lawyer that deals in cases like that what the answer for that is. I have no idea. But either way, that's what I would say. 16 is too young for age of consent. Yuck. Well, I don't know. I mean, like, I don't want to get into, like, a big argument and say, like, this is the age or that's the age. I think that here's one thing that a lot of people can agree with, though. Whenever you're over, like, 30 years old, you probably shouldn't be trying to talk to a lot of teenagers. Even if they're like 18 or 19, a lot of people think that's weird. Now, I'm not saying that you can't do it. Obviously, legally, you can do this. It's okay legally for you to do this. But I think that it makes a lot of people uncomfortable, and it's a bit odd. So, that's it. Why the fuck haven't all states made it 18? Well, I mean, the fact is that, like, you know, historically, 18 is a very old age. I mean, many people had kids back in the Middle Ages, like, whenever they were young teens. Like, it's actually a very, very weird thing, or a recent thing, that, you know, the age is as high as it is. But I think the reason why is, I mean, there's a million reasons why. I mean, we're living in a totally different society. People aren't dying at 35 like they used to. And so we're on a totally different timeline. So obviously it makes more sense now, but the point that I'm making is that, like, I don't want to have a big argument over what should be the age of consent, right? But the point is that if you're doing it, even if it is somebody that is of age, I mean, if you're like 37 or 36 or whatever, that's a pretty big age difference, right? It is. And, like, I get that, like, guys want, you know, they'll see some hot young girl, you know, that's like some 19-year-old girl on OnlyFans, and they'll think that she's really attractive, and, like, okay, yeah, you want to do that? That's fine. But, like, going and having an active relationship with her and everything, that's very different than just being a gooner. And so, yeah. Human brains don't fully develop till 25. It should be higher. Well, I don't know. I think that the age... Like, do you guys agree with me here about, like, the age difference being a big factor? Because, like, for me, like, so I'm 35. I'm 35. It would be very odd for me to date a girl seriously that was 20 years old. I would say, do you remember back whenever they had VHS and she would say no? You know? Like, she born after 9/11. Right? I mean, damn, that's a totally different universe. So it's legal, right? It's legal to do that, and you know, sure, somebody wants to do that. I'm not going to really criticize them, but that's just my opinion. That's the way I feel about it. Something being weird doesn't mean it's wrong. Listen, what consenting adults do between each other is between them. You're asking me what my opinion is. I'm giving you my opinion. But fundamentally, everybody gets to choose their own destiny. And I think that's fine. Ah, damn it. The girl likes 20 and I'm 35? Then go out with her. Do whatever you want. Like, why would my judgment on something have an impact on the way that you want to live your life? Why should you allow me to make a decision on the way that you want to live your life? Do whatever you want to do. There's nothing wrong with you doing that. But, like, again, I'm giving you my opinion. Yeah, live your life. Yeah, YOLO, right? Would you go for 25 if she's into you? I don't know. Maybe. Probably. Depends on who it is, right? I mean, I don't know. Like, I think it depends on a person. I'd have to think about it. I mean, I'd probably want to date somebody at least a little bit older than that, but, like, maybe not. I mean, I don't know. I mean, look, I mean, beggars can't be choosers for some guy like me, right? But overall, that's the way that I feel about it. So, yeah. Anyway, I don't want to comment. This is the same thing I've said before about other people's allegations, is that sexual allegations and sexual misconduct allegations, I don't want to make comments on those events anymore. Unless it is like a super cut and dried case, I do not want to do that. Because I feel like a lot of the people that do it, I'm going to be real, do not do it in a way that is responsible. And I think that I've probably been a person who's done that myself in the past. And so at this point in my life, I don't want to have anything to do with this anymore. Like, I don't want to comment on actual legal matters. I want to leave that to the police and the courts to decide. So really, it's just that simple. Would you accept it if your daughter was with an old man? If my daughter was, like, let's say, so, like, if I had, like, a 20-year-old daughter and she was dating, like, a 65-year-old guy, no, I wouldn't like it at all. I'd think it was really weird. Now, obviously, like, it's her right to do that. But, like, I mean, and it's not like I'd disown her. But, I mean, and it's like, so basically, I would be, it's her life. She can decide and do what she wants to do. Like, I wouldn't say, like, I hate you now. I don't want to talk to you. Like, I don't want to have anything to do with you. If she had a kid with him, I'd take care, you know, I'd be like, oh, this is my grandkid. Yeah, for sure, right? Of course. But at the same time, yeah, I think it's weird. Yeah, I mean, I mean, isn't that normal? Yeah, I think that's totally normal, isn't it? You wouldn't be... Yeah, I wouldn't be comfortable with it, but I would accept it. Because it's her life, she's an adult, and she gets to choose what she wants. That's it. I know. What a boring, hopefully well-adjusted answer. You usually don't get those from me. But, yeah, that's generally what I think about it. So it's redacted. Let me see. I'm just going to pull this up and see what it says. Transcript day 1. How much of this is redacted? I'm assuming there's not going to... Well, I mean, obviously there's not going to be anything that's, like, inappropriate on here. It looks like very few things are redacted. Like, oh, I think I saw a black bar. That might have actually just been the page turning, though. Yeah, I think it was the page turning. Damn. Damn, bro. Like, they had it. Yeah, there we go. He met, and I think that it was responsible. Oh, wow. I think that in December of 2021... Wait, what is this here? 15-year period. Mr. Epstein requiring masseuses to be naked. I think that because in December 2001, he met DOJ redaction, and I think redaction was responsible for that in its entirety. Bill Clinton. That would have been the accusers in my case. That would have been that person here, subsequent to or simultaneously, came through, and her boyfriend. Okay. Well, I guess that's a female that was involved in this as well. Damn, they got a lot of these. So all they really redacted were a few names. The other person, who's clearly also not an adult or even close, the redaction, I believe, is her now. Wow. In my trial, was clearly underage, clearly a child. I only saw her in Palm Beach, and I only saw her with her mother. What the fuck? Damn. Quite a riddle. Yeah, this is nuts, man. What happened with the relationship, putting aside publicity around Prince Andrew's purported relationship with Redacted? What happened, do you know? Jeffries told me, Epstein told me Andrew is coming to New York. I need to organize the whole thing. That's a classic by Epstein. Oh, man. And with respect to DOJ redaction and Prince Andrew, do you know about that relationship? I think it sounds to me like these redactions are victims' names and not the perpetrators. Like, if I just search, like, so let me just go through. I can search this document, right? So Bill Gates. So, for example, I was doing really, really well. How do you know? Investing in Apple. I didn't know Bill Gates, so this is not related to him. Okay, so it's got nothing to do really with Bill Gates. All right, how about Clinton? Okay, Clinton, one of 43 matches. Huh. Wow. Wowee. That's a lot. Let's look at Trump. Let's see how many times Trump was mentioned. Trump was mentioned 3 times. So Bill Clinton was mentioned, and this is the second part. I don't know, the first part could be different. But the second part, Bill Clinton was mentioned 43 times, and Trump was mentioned 3 times. Let's look at Prince Andrew. Andrew is mentioned 3 times also. Let's see, who else? Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is not mentioned at all in this second page. Obama. Obama is not mentioned. Biden. Biden is not mentioned. Okay, let me actually move it up so you guys can see. Okay, let's see what else. Bill Gates already did that. Hillary. Hillary is mentioned more than... Damn. Did you ever meet Secretary Clinton, Hillary Clinton? Ghislaine Maxwell says yes. When did you meet her? I want to say, again, please don't hold me to it. Uh-oh. But I want to say that it was on a flight that came from the island. Not from the island, from the Nantucket or Martha's Vineyard back to New York, is what I think. Did the ex-president never came to the island? So is this the Epstein Island, or is this the island in Nantucket? I don't even know where the Epstein Island actually is. I don't know which one it is. Is that the only time you met Hillary Clinton? No, I went to the house in Shakawawa. I don't know what the fuck that is. Man. It's in, yeah, I thought so. Little St. James, okay. Lonely Island? No, that's a band. Okay. Do you know whether Epstein had any sort of business dealings or associated with Hillary Clinton? I would say no. Did you ever see them together? No. Did you know Mr. Epstein did any business with the Clintons? I would. Well, I'm not sure I can. I'm not sure how to quite. I don't know the answer to that strictly. I was part of the beginning process of the Clinton Global Initiative. Man. Oh, wow. John Podesta. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, it's a good idea. Podesta. Nope, not him. All right, let's try another one. Soros. George Soros is mentioned 4 times. How did you know George Soros? I was friends with his kids. Whether George Soros or his kids ever traveled on Epstein's planes, I don't think so. Yeah, they probably had their own. Okay, wow. Tom Cruise? No. Yeah, Tom Cruise is not there. Jimmy Kimmel? Jimmy doesn't even search result. There's nothing there. Bill Gates? Already tried that. I mean, obvious. Bush! How'd nobody ask that? Okay, Elon? Good idea. Elon, 2 matches. Do you know Elon Musk? I do. How did you meet him? I met him and I don't remember. Okay. But if you're saying it sounds like, but if you don't know, we can move on. Okay. All right. So yeah, nothing's really, yeah, so she said she met Elon. Okay. It's not really a whole lot to go there. And let me see if I can search on this one too. Trump. And then Trump is only 2 matches right here. Damn. Well, that certainly says a lot. Michael Jackson. Oh, shit. Ooh, good one. None on here. How about this one? Nope, not Michael Jackson at all. Biden, I already tried that. Kevin Spacey. Yep. Kevin Spacey. I know him from that same flight. Do you know him from any other thing? Oh, shit. For 3, did they ever travel to Mr. Epstein's properties? Not Mr. Tucker or Mr. Spacey. Mr. Tucker or Mr. Spacey may have. Wow. Oh, wait a second. Oh, no, I misread. I bad English that. She's saying Kevin Spacey and Tucker did not, but Naomi Campbell might have. Sorry, I bad English that. That's my fault. Okay, let's see if there's anything else. What about CNN members? Well, I don't know about that. I don't know about CNN at all. Stephen Hawking? Nope, not on there. I'm going to search the other one for that one, actually. I'm actually kind of curious about that. No, just Black Hawk. That's the only search result for Hawking is Black Hawk. So I don't know what that means at all. It looks like not a whole lot. Prince Charles. I'll see if there's any other princes. But yeah, there's only that. Yeah, nothing on here. And I'll search this one more time if there's any other princes. Yeah, nothing as a search result for that either. So Tom Hanks, I already looked that one up. But yeah, this is pretty suspicious, man. I'll certainly say that. Absolutely. Man. Okay, all right, one more. One more, we will do it. I will search for Diddy. Huge surprise. 2 results. Surprised by P. Diddy from Redux issues. How do you satisfy a mob that they can't understand the lifestyle? Okay, sure. And then what's the other one? Okay, there's just that. And then how about Diddy for this one too? Yeah, and it looks like there's nothing on there. So, okay, well, there we go. So the Maxwell interview has been released. Here is the concern that I have. I don't know if there's anything that they can do right now that will really gain back the public's trust. Because I think so many people now just don't trust the government with how they handled this Epstein situation at all. And so, search for Sean Combs. Well, I mean, they referred to him as Diddy already, so I think that would be it. But anyway, they stalled too long. Yeah, this is a gigantic nothing. Well, you're right. There was nothing that here was like a smoking gun. or anything like that that's like super, super like specific. And Bill Clinton asked about it. The evidence is clear. Okay. So that's about it. I mean, there's nothing else really more to say to it other than that. Yeah.